Hey, it's Margie with the Asking Spot. Have you got some chairs that you know from, say, a previous test that they are a poly top? And yeah, the proper way to fix them would be to sand it down, reapply stain, and then a top coat for those nicks and scratches it has. But they're so small, and really, can you get away with these guys? I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Now, neither of them instruct you to clean it prior to it, but I just feel safer than to do it that way, just because when you use furniture polishes, it leaves a residue. Yeah, that. So I'm going to try and clean that off. I've done a vinegar water mix clean on this and hopefully make these guys work even better. Now on this one, it actually refers to itself as a stain touch-up. And I actually think that's more accurate to what it is, because this one is saying it actually is a quick and easy wood repair. It's not, though.
That doesn't sound very scientific.
You know, it's just not. But are they both camouflage? Could they both be great and useful? Absolutely. Which one's better? I don't know. Let's see.
There's more, isn't there?
Nope.
Don't give up.
There's more.
That's messed up.
Well, better.
Notice you're getting a little frustrated over here.
All right, my next attempt to avoid doing what I really want to do, which is sand them all down, start from scratch, give them a new stain, and then follow up with a poly top coat. I am going to go ahead and try Polyshades. Now, if you've watched enough of the Asking Spot, you probably have heard me once or twice or several times mention that I really don't like Polyshades, especially for a full-on complete piece. It's because it's a little hard to manage. However, in these little areas, I should be able to do it just fine. So here's to sanding, cleaning, and then applying, but only in a small area. Stir. Natural brush. Here's another learn from my mistake tip. These little cheap brushes, nah, they're not really good. I actually ended up just dipping my finger in it and wiping it on smoother and better than this brush did. So just a heads up there. Before talking final results, I do have to say that this wasn't exactly the nicest test I could give these products. It wasn't that they weren't fair. I mean, you know, 3 chairs, similar woods, similar damage, but these chairs are poplar wood. They were really big in the 80s and 90s, and poplar wood is still used to this day. It is notorious for being very hard to stain. It takes stain very unevenly, and it's just, you know, it's a rough piece to work with. So that being said, what my results are with these was probably going to be the same if you're working with something similar, but I can't say for certain if it would be for anything else that you have that has a poly top. First one, we have our wax pen here, and wasn't horrible on the dog bite marks. It did fill those in, but color matching is key, and I thought I had the best match for it, at least for what my store offered. And yeah, now I just kind of have dark spots, but it's a pretty good camouflage. It did not work on any of the other pieces, you know, the milder scrapes and stuff like that, which didn't surprise me because there's not enough for it to get into. Now, that's where you think that this one would be a superhero. That's results number 2, the wood stained pen. Very easy to use. Both of them dried super fast, very good that way. I have used pens like this in other projects where I'm trying to blend, say, a different type of wood where I've made a patch and I want to blend it with the other wood, but then I was using it on something that had never had a top coat before, and it worked much better that way. In this one, I found it was either too dark when I left it on too thick, and that's not good, or if I followed the instructions and wiped off the excess, then it was too light, and I'm using ebony. So that seemed kind of weird. But again, positive, they're both dry, I could take them in the house and use them.
Not much of an endorsement.
And last but not least, the Polyshades. I would never recommend Polyshades for a full piece. It is not very user-friendly in that way. And you have to keep moving and keeping a wet edge, and this just gets gooey and you end up streaky. But in these small patches, it worked quite well. The only thing I would caution though is, yeah, color match is always important, but like I got a gloss. These are more or less a semi-gloss, so it's a little shinier. I can work with that though. I would just give you that heads up. Otherwise, it was easy enough to apply, and now I just, granted, have to wait 6 hours for them to dry before we can use them, but that's not that bad. So, I will say, it looks like in my test, Polyshades was the winner. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching The Asking Spot.